All right, so we live. So what's up, guys? This is Mark from DSG, and this is Joe. I'm just gonna give it a second just so I could make sure that it shows up on YouTube so I can mute the video. And I know I'm okay, sweet. So I can mute it now. All right, so I know that I am taking a break from YouTube. Like my annoyance with YouTube is more the fact of like playing the game and making these dumbass videos to get views. But now I'm not doing that. I'm pretty much not doing that anymore. What's up, guys? What's up, humanoid? What's up, best online dealer? So this is Joe. Joe has a YouTube channel. There's a link to his YouTube channel in the description. Check it out. Joe learned, like I've interacted with Ecom Tom. Ecom Tom has been on my channel. Joe basically joined his course and is now a successful dropshipper on eBay. There's a link to the course in the description as well. But Joe, introduce yourself to the guys. Talk about how long you've been dropshipping, who you are, how old you are. Just give some background story, and then we just do a quick live and talk about it. Because I like these interviewing. Like I like to talk about the success stories and interview guys who are actually making money and talk about the challenges and the successes and so on. More than anything else, right? Like I focus on results. Whether it is you join my inner circle or whether it's you learn from someone else, you're making money. And anyone that is successfully running a business, but a dropshipping business, my audience could learn from their experiences. So that's why I'm doing the video. All right. So introduce yourself, Joe.
Yeah. So my name is Joe Cox, and I've been dropshipping pretty much full time since March of this year. Kind of the background story is I worked a job, I worked a normal job like everybody else, and then I quit my job in May of 2018. I had a little bit of money saved, not a ton, so I had to like come up with my next thing really soon. But I was just kind of in a place of burnout, with what I was doing before, so I knew I had to leave that.
Okay, where you from, Joe? Sorry, where you from?
Yeah, no. I live in the United States. I'm in Tennessee, just outside of Nashville. I'm in the Nashville area.
Okay.
Yeah. So I left my job in May of 2018, so May of last year, and right away got into e-commerce stuff. The first thing I did, I think a lot of people start this way, is I started just with like thrifting, like buying stuff at yard sales and what have you, and selling on eBay, and had some success with that. But as you know, like that's a monumental amount of work.
Right.
And I had these huge income goals, these hopes and dreams of what I wanted to make. And I knew that what I was doing wasn't scalable to that level. So I just started doing some more research. And
what are these goals? What were these goals, if you don't mind sharing? Like, what are the numbers?
My goals are a little kind of crazy would be crazy to some people. When I started, I wanted to make $50,000 a month profit.
Okay.
And I'm still working on that goal, but I've kind of doubled that goal at this point. But but anyhow, you know how it is, Mark. Like you get into it and you make some money, and you're like, well, I want to make more. If I can do this, I can make more. So I ran across some information about drop shipping. I'd heard of it before, but never really researched it. And the two people that really was standing out on YouTube was yourself, and then also Tom Cormier, Ecom Tom.
Right.
So Tom had a course available at the time, so I bought the course. And I'm kind of a lot of people say I'm a workaholic. Like when I get into something, I don't.
Tom actually said that about you.
Yeah, and that's what happened. I got the course and basically immersed myself in it, and got started right away. So had a lot of hiccups along the way because I didn't know what I was doing, but the course really helped with that.
Right.
In the first month, but my first month, like with manual eBay drop shipping, I did 10,000 in sales. That would have been March and April. And then the next month was 30,000 in sales. And then I had two $50,000 months with sales. And then now I'm up to between 70 and 80,000.
Right. So, send me a screenshot, so I'll share it in a second. Well, go ahead.
Yeah. I sent a screenshot so you can show everybody. And it's all been done with eBay drop shipping. In the last couple of well, I guess about the last 4 or 5 weeks, I've really dug my feet into Shopify as well. So I'm working on that right now as well. But the big next step for me is to conquer Amazon the way I have eBay. So, and that's how you and I got hooked up. You know, I reached out to you about Amazon. So that's sort of my story. And it's, you know, it's been a lot of fun. I love drop shipping. I love e-commerce.
One second. What you guys are looking, I'm sharing the image right now. What you guys are looking at is his, so the last 31 days, $70,440 in sales. Last 9 days, 150. Last 7, 19,000. So you're on track to be more like 80,000 a month. So that's cool. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm on track for 80. But yeah, man, I mean, it's just a really great business to get into. Not only, you know, I love any kind of business model where it's simple. You do the work. If you're willing to do the work, you will get the results. And that's what I love about this business.
Right.
And then, you know, I always tell people too, the other thing I love about it is just the networking, meeting other people that have the same kind of goals, trying to help each other achieve those goals. So, you know, drop shipping is a great way for people to make money online for sure.
Okay, so all right, so you got to this point. When did you start? How long did it take?
So I actually started in like late February, and I didn't know what I was doing because I didn't buy a course. I didn't have anybody to help me. I didn't really know anybody. Right. And my very first eBay account, you know, I did probably about $7,000 or $8,000 in sales that first month, but the account got shut down, you know, because I didn't know what I was doing, man. And I wasn't handling customer service properly and all that. So that was like the first month. But after I got some coaching and learned what I was doing, it was really fast, Mark. It was, like I said, that first month, 10,000, the next month, 30,000, the next month, 50,000. So it was really, really quick. And I don't know that that's typical. I don't think everybody grows that fast. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I definitely did. And I always tell my students too, because I have have people that ask me for help all the time. And I always tell people it's like anything else. Like you invest the time up front, you know, for the payoff of later having passive income. I mean, I don't, the whole reason I got into this is I don't want to keep trading time for money. Right. You know, I want to invest all my time up front and then the income be passive. And I think that's why I succeeded so quickly, Mark, is because I had that goal in mind. But it didn't take long. I mean, like I said, in March, I wasn't making any money. And here it is, you know, August 1st, and I'm doing 70 and 80,000 a month. So, yeah, what is and I'll talk about your profit margin in a second. But so guys, there are 28 of you guys watching this like live. Smash the like button. There's a link to Joe's channel in the description. So go over there, subscribe to that. There's a link to Tom's course, the same course that Joe took. Go check that out. But what is interesting about you and Tom as well, right? I feel like you guys got into eBay dropshipping with a real goal and a real expectation to make real money. So you treated it like a real business. So for example, I remember when Tom and I was talking, he was like, before he figured anything, a lot of stuff out, he hired a lot of VAs. So he invested money up front, right? Right. And he got very quick success, in my opinion. And I think that the same way you approach it as a real business is one of the reasons you had really quick success. Because when I got into it, I got into eBay dropshipping out of desperation, out of being broke. Someone introduced me to it. I figured, okay, I'll make a little money just to get home because I was in Costa Rica at the time. So even how I approached it, like I sell a lot now, right? But I think how I approached it and my mentality in approaching the business is what slowed down my growth. So it's interesting to have these conversations because I learn as well by seeing, I deal a lot in mathematics and results and looking for reasons for results and so on. So I learn a lot by interacting with people like yourself and Tom and just who have different strategies and different outlook on how these businesses go, right? So I think that is cool. And that's one thing that you guys who are watching this should take into consideration. And I've said that before. Like I made a video like 10 things or 6 things I wish I knew before I fucking started eBay dropshipping. Yeah. And that was one of them and I'm guilty of doing that. And also not, when I first started, not like encouraging the people watching me to treat it like that. You know what I mean?
So I think that's cool. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'll tell you too, Mark, one of the most motivating things I ever heard actually came from you. And it was a couple months back when PayPal said that they're going to stop. Remember when they said they're going to stop refunding PayPal fees on returns? And everybody freaked out and was like, well, that's it. Dropshipping's dead and all that. And you said on a video one time, on one of your videos, you made the comment, you said, hey, listen, this is being an entrepreneur. And part of it is like dealing with problems and solving those problems and not like whining about it, like pressing through the problem and working the problem. And I think, I'll tell you, Mark, that was a huge key to my success too, was after I heard you say that. And Tom had made some comments to me like that too, because Tom and I are in pretty direct contact every day. And he had made a similar comment to me. And I thought, like that's what's going to separate people from, separate those who succeed and those who don't with this. Like there are a lot of hurdles, but none of them are hurdles you can't overcome.
Right.
Everything that goes wrong with dropshipping, you can overcome it. You've just got to think, like you just said, you got to come at it like, hey, this is a business. And part of being a business owner is solving problems.
Right.
And when you said that, it really just clicked in my mind. And that was like, I don't know, 4 months ago or something.
Yeah. It was a few months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was thinking recently, I'm 36. I'm not old, but I've been making money online and I've started businesses that are not online. So I know the challenges that it takes to like start a business and continuously be successful, right?
Right.
And what I know in this time that we live in where everyone is an entrepreneur, everyone wants to be an entrepreneur. And I think that's good, right? I think that we're moving in a time where a lot more people are going to make money on their own. But on the flip side, a lot of people aren't taught or prepared for the challenges in entrepreneurship. So you have a lot of people that just watch YouTube, watch our videos, and then jump into this thinking it's a piece of cake, because a lot of the marketers need to speak like it's a piece of cake. And then a lot of people get into that even shouldn't or are not prepared for the entrepreneur like challenges. So when I compare eBay dropshipping to like, I used to run 2 bars. Like I had a tattoo studio. Like I used to do door-to-door sales in South Florida in a suit living out of my car.
Yeah.
So when I compare to those type of things, it's just like, come on. Like I know I curse and I know like call people lazy cunts, and it's just been extreme and it's part of the entertainment and education, right? But people watching this need to realize that these are like important lessons. You know what I mean? And giving up, like I've had situations, dude, like where I've lost even since I was dropshipping, right? Like 5 years ago, I was selling $100,000 a month. I had a business partner. She fucked everything up and I had to start from zero. My PayPal account was a negative $1,700. I had 30 days to finish Diashini. I sold 17 Diashini subscriptions before I got to zero, right?
Right.
And if I gave up and just went and got a job or went and did something safe, I would not have seen this now. And it frustrates me a bit when I see those things like this thing you said with the PayPal thing, right?
Yeah.
And people give up because of those little challenges. And they don't realize when people don't invest a lot of time or money, it's easy to give up because they not feel like they're giving up a lot. But when I see people give up, I'm thinking about the years that I put in and now the upside that I have. So all these people are giving up this potential upside. Right. So it's all of these things. Like imagine if you stop. Like how much money are you making on that 70,000? Guys, we'll answer your questions in a little bit, and this is going to be a short live. But what profit margin you're playing with? You can give me a ballpark. You don't have to give me.
Yeah. It averages 15 to 20%. There are some items on our store that only do about 10 to 12% just because they're so expensive already.
Right. Yeah. So out of $70,000, you would make maybe $10,000 profit, right?
Closer to 15. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Okay. 15 grand.
Yeah.
Imagine if any little bullshit that you came across in this journey, would force you to give up. You would not be. Do you have kids?
Yeah, I got 3 kids.
Right. Like you would not be making $15,000 a month and provide a solid like foundation and living for your family. You know what I mean? And that to me is amazing. And that's why a lot of times I curse and react and get very angry, because people give up for these little things, and because they can't compare to what they potentially are losing because they don't see it.
That's right. And they focus on the small problems. Like the big thing I hear everybody saying, and I don't want to jump ahead of you, Mark, but I see people asking this question already right now. And the big thing I hear people always complaining about is, well, yeah, but you have to have really good credit to do this because you've got to have money. Well, I'm like, well, look, start with what you have, man. If you've got $100, then freaking list $100 items and, you know, reinvest your money and build up. I mean, if you think of it like a process, it's not a get rich quick scheme. I don't believe those even exist anymore. So like, or if they ever did, I don't know. But I'm just saying, like if you can find something that, you know, you invest all your time up front and then later it just makes money while you sleep, like it's worth any of the frustrations that you have to go through. So like, if you're like, well, I don't have money to get started. Well, I mean, who can't come up with $100, right? I mean,
but let me talk about that, right? Let me just mention that. So all of you got if you are watching this video and you are commenting or thinking, I don't have the money to start, and you live in a first world country, so you live in the United States, Canada, England, Australia, Wales, Dubai, like Switzerland, most of Europe, those are fucking excuses, right? And what an excuse is a distortion of reality to justify your bullshit. Seriously, because like I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. There's a decent. I thought Trinidad was a poor country until I came to Nicaragua. So I left Trinidad at 18, moved to the US, right?
Yep.
Studied, got bad credit, thought like fuck, like I don't have anything, whatever. And then I moved to Nicaragua, the second poorest country in our hemisphere, second to Haiti. The only thing, if Nicaragua has a bad earthquake, Nicaragua is going to be the poorest, right?
Yeah.
And when I see people, the type of sacrifice, the type of patience, the type of work, the type of dedication that people have making $100, $200 a month, and I compare people in other countries who are complaining that they don't have $100, but they eat out, they take Uber, they drink, they party, like small things.
Yeah.
Those are just excuses, guys. And it's
like,
nothing.
Put that stuff off. Like wait and do that stuff later.
Yeah. And I think we are older than a lot of these guys. I think with age, you get wisdom. So I don't want to like be like, oh yeah, like we know what we're talking about. But it is like, and I could keep saying it, but sorry, Joe, go ahead. Like
no. I agree with you so much. And I mean, you know, it can be like it, you know, if you're in a situation where you're like desperate, like you said, you started that way, like, you know, oh my gosh, I've got to do this, I've got to make it work. It can take a bigger toll on you, I guess, from an emotional standpoint, when you have setbacks or when you don't have enough cash to do something. And I get that. I truly do. And I understand that. But that's why you're on YouTube. That's why I'm on YouTube. It's why, you know, Tom's on YouTube. Like the point is to help each other to figure this out. I mean, and that's the thing I always tell people. Like, if I had not had guys that knew what they were talking about to watch and listen to, I would have never, I don't think I would have ever figured this out. Or maybe I would have, but it would have cost me a whole lot more time and money. But basically what you're saying, I totally back that up. You can't make excuses. If you want to be an entrepreneur, then be one. You know, you just got to do it. You've got to put in the work and you've got to do it. And, you know, people say, well, you know, I'm going to have to keep working my normal job until I get this going. Well, of course you are. That's how it works, you know? Like maybe
or move to Nicaragua, like move in with your parents, like sacrifice, like
whatever you need to do, give something up. You know, maybe you need to sleep 5 hours instead of 8, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, maybe you shouldn't watch House of Freaking Cards, you know? Like, just spend your time building your dream. And that's the thing. Like, what we all want, it's not even that I want to be like disgustingly rich. I mean, I wouldn't mind it, but that's not it. It's freedom. That's what I want. I want total autonomy and freedom. And and when I realized it can be done. All I got to do is pick something and do the work.
Long enough, exactly,
You know,
and
that's
just
the hardest.
focus.
That's the hardest part. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And
man.
like I remember just yesterday, so we had a conversation yesterday about how many Amazon accounts I manage and how much is selling and all this nonsense, right?
Yeah,
And after we came off that conversation, and because I'm not doing a lot of YouTube videos, I'm noticing I have a lot more time to think and
yeah.
like just reflect and stuff. And after having that conversation with you, I remembered when I could not even afford Jungle Scout, and it would stress me out that I can't even figure out how to drop ship on Amazon because I don't have the money to buy the equipment necessary, right?
Yeah.
And the reason why I talk a lot about my past and where I came from is because hopefully at least a couple of these guys that are watching us will understand that like a big part of this is sacrifice and putting things first and second and so on. And the success will come. And
Yeah.
and the funny thing is, I had to learn to manage $200 before I could learn to manage $20,000, and before I had to learn to manage $200,000.
Yeah.
And it's a hard lesson to learn, and I learned it the hard way. So anyway, yeah, I'm rambling on, but
Yeah.
it's so yeah. So on this eBay journey, so you learned from. So go ahead. What else were we talking about? I know we kind of went
Yeah,
around in
that's
circles.
cool. So, you know, the biggest thing was just like for me was learning just the keys to this business, how to find products that are selling products, how to deal with customer service. But I'll
Mhm.
tell you, Mark, I mean, the most valuable lesson I personally think anybody could learn if they want to be a drop shipper is how to hire VAs and get good ones.
Mm,
You know, that was my thing. Like that first month that I did 10,000, I had a VA.
mhm.
But that second month when I did 30,000, I had two.
Right.
And when I did 50,000, I had three. And now that I'm up to 70 to 80,000, I have four full-time VAs. Like you got to start, to me, I think you need to think, you know, people need to think like, okay, I can work 10, 12 hours a day, or I could work 8 and have another person working 8. And now my business is getting 16 hours a day
Yeah.
worth of work and attention. That was a huge one for me, Mark. I don't know where you stand on VAs and stuff. I know you have a lot of them, I think, or a lot of people working for you.
Yeah. So me personally, this is a personal thing. I admire Tom. I admire you. I admire Tori. I admire Roman that could train guys online, retrain,
Yeah.
and grow a team remotely, right? And again, we live in a time where drop shipping is around long enough that you could find people online that have some experience.
Yeah.
But I personally have a hard time like managing an online team.
Yeah.
So I have in-house staff, right?
Yeah, I think that's cool. And I want to learn a lot more about that from you because
Yeah.
that's awesome, dude. That's
Oh,
incredible.
hey Gail, how are you doing? My internet mother. She was in Nicaragua
Yeah,
a
I
couple
saw
months
that. I
ago.
saw that thing about her on there. That was really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, she's yeah, so like even that, like even me having the live events and meeting people in person and stuff, it's all part of me. Like to be honest, interacting online stresses me out. Not knowing, not knowing what a team in the Philippines is going through stresses me out. Now, I had the like I moved to the US when I was 18 from Trinidad and Tobago. So moving to a country with cheap labor wasn't that daunting to me because I was already out of my home country, right? So I
Yeah.
could understand why a lot of people would think like it's a big deal, it's a big culture, blah blah. But
Yeah.
where I am, it's a 2 hour flight from Miami. You know what I mean? So
That's great.
so it's a challenge for me. Like I've learned a lot through the process. I've learned to fire really quickly. I've learned to retrain. I've learned to find that balance between firing or retraining and starting from scratch. And it's all those things that like over time you would learn. But I do admire you guys that could do it remotely because it does reduce the level of stress. It does reduce the level of responsibility. It reduce the cost, right? So like I have an office. Like I like provide computers for all the guys, right? Like
Yeah.
some of my guys travel for a long time, so sometimes we give them like there's a bus that drops them home, and because we have a lot of staff now, right?
I want to learn about that. I just need to come stay with you and just see how this is done, because I think that's awesome, and I would much prefer that model over what I'm doing.
From me and Tom talked about you a little bit yesterday.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say I'll tell you what he said off camera.
Okay.
But I'll tell you on camera. It doesn't matter. But
Okay.
basically, he said you're a workhorse and you like to have control of your business, right?
Yeah.
So the fact that when he said that, I could see why. Because like, dude, like when someone in my office, like for example, gets pregnant, I know. You know what I mean? Like all the little things, the little things. And because I'm trying to like scale my business in a whole, I just prefer the in-person thing. But yeah, guys, there's 39 of you watching this video. Like the video. Joe, there's a link to Joe's YouTube channel in the description. He's one of the newer YouTubers. He's a successful dropshipper on eBay, making over $10,000 a month. So go check him out. I really I like interacting with guys who are not marketers first. And one of the main reasons I took a break from YouTube, and I'm going to put, because I felt like I was going down that road of becoming a marketer first.
Yeah.
And I was hating the direction I was going in. So I had to pull back. Yeah, it's easy. And I was justified in my head that, okay, I'm doing a little better than them, but I would just become a marketer. So I'm trying to go back to why I started this and having conversations with you, with Tom, guys who are drop shipping, guys who are making money, guys who are not marketers first. Yeah. I really appreciate you guys, and I enjoy recommending you to my audience on YouTube.
Man, I appreciate you saying that too, because that's really true, Mark. I would say that my primary passion with this business is the interacting with other people who are motivated and want to do it. I love helping them. Like, I think one of my favorite things I do on a daily basis is sit down with my phone and just like answer hundreds of Facebook Messenger questions that people have. And I don't charge people to do that, you know, like I love being able to do that. That's a lot of fun, especially, and I know, you know, it's rare to happen, but especially if you help somebody like that. And then, you know, 3 months later, they're like, hey dude, I'm making money, man. I'm succeeding. That is very, very rewarding. And it's like you said, it's so easy to go down the marketer first. And I don't want to do that either. And I have done that before, and I'm trying to get back to my roots of just like, hey, let's help each other. I will tell you this though, and I bet you're the same way. If somebody reaches out to me and I can see right away they're lazy or they're an excuse maker and they don't want to, I'm not going to respond anymore. Like, but if I see somebody is hungry and like, man, I want to do this and I'll do whatever it takes, I'm excited about talking to somebody like that.
Yeah, and guys, follow this dude, because I am fed up of answering questions on Facebook. I've been doing this for a long time. No, seriously, I'm fed up, and I'm being honest. I'm fed up answering the same questions. I'm fed up answering the beginner questions. I'm just tired of it, right? So, but yeah. So
yeah, I'm so new. I haven't had time to get tired of it yet.
Yeah, exactly. So I like I'm still gonna do the videos. I still want to do more in-depth stuff, more like of the challenges, more of the scaling stuff. And that's why I love recommended you guys. Yeah. It's because certain part of this, and that's also why I've changed my business to focus more on the done for you, because that's a more interesting part to me, because I've been teaching for so long and I've been putting out content for so long that there's only so many times I can make a beginner video. Yes, I know certain things change. Yes, I know e-commerce changes. Yes, I know eBay changes terms of service and so on. Yeah. But like at some point, I was having a conversation with the dude who made e-com solutions, and he was saying the same thing. After a while, you want to graduate and interact with, like, we interact with beginners on YouTube and Facebook, and that's cool. I interact a lot more with you and Tom and Ecom Solutions guy and Matthew, because we're more on the equal level, and then we can figure out how to go to the next level, right? Yeah. So that's kind of where I'm trying to find my place on YouTube. And
Yeah.
I still enjoy like having these conversations and trying to direct the beginners to the right places. You see what I'm
Well,
saying?
I love that. Yeah, that's awesome. Let me be very clear about something too, because I don't want to be like haughty about this. I want to have the proper sensitivities to humility. So I want to say, like, I am not on Mark's level and I'm not on Tom's level. These guys have been way longer. They're making way more money than me. Like, I am a new kid. I am brand new. So like, if you've got big boy questions, I may be able to help, but like, I don't want anybody to think that I'm like at the same level as you guys. I want to be, and I'm working on it, but I'm definitely the new kid on the block.
Yeah. So Raj is in Nicaragua. So Raj, don't pay for any courses. Just send me a message on Facebook. I'll give you the location of my office, and you'll learn from somebody in the office.
That's incredible. If you're that guy, get over there right now. Don't buy anything.
I know exactly where Raj lives, and it might take you 15, 20 minutes to get to my office, Raj.
Dude, that guy is at a better advantage than I was starting out, man.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to make, and Nicaragua is a very bad economic situation, and there are a lot of people here that lived in US and have US banking. They just don't know it's possible. So I'm also going to try to like direct. No, Joe does not use DSGE, and that's also what I love doing. TP speaking to people who are not doing the exact same thing that I am, so that we can also learn. So, Joe, we've been on this for 40 minutes so far, 30 minutes or something. Strangely, that the time passed really quickly.
I know. It went really fast.
And we have a couple of things to talk about. But, guys, I think hopefully Joe and I will do some business together. But even if we don't do business together, I think that Joe is someone that you guys could definitely learn from. I would have him on the channel again. So check out his YouTube channel, please. There's a link in the description. What's the name of the channel? You changed it to 1 second.
It's Best Life Commerce.
Yeah, Best Life Commerce. It was your name, but there's a link to the channel in the description. Go check the channel out and subscribe. There's a link to Ecom Tom's course in the description as well. That's one of the guys that I work with. I've worked with, met in person and that type of stuff. So check that stuff out. Is there any quick questions you want to answer real quick? Anything you want to add before we go, Joe?
Hey, I just want to say it's a real privilege to be on the live with you, Mark. I appreciate you having me on your channel, and I'm honored to be here. And I just appreciate all you guys are doing, and it's been a lot of fun. And I'm looking forward to possibly doing business with you. And yeah, if you guys have questions and you want to ask me more about what we talked about today, just hit me up. Be happy to answer those. But thanks, Mark, for having me, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. And thanks for your time. And like, just one other thing, like the fact that like I'm a recent father, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like you're a father, you have 3 kids. And now that like I am a father and I worry about my son, I think about what he learns in the future. I think about how much money I have to make. Like there's so much more, like a lot of what I am doing now has so much more importance. And the internet, the world we have now, there's so much garbage online, and not just real people with real families and real like normal lives making a ton of money and explaining. So all of that is why I enjoy. Dude, you're making $15,000 a month. Like that is a lot of motherfucking money, right? Like if like. I have a master's, I have friends who are teachers, I have friends who are engineers. Most human beings do not make that type of money monthly. My guess is 99% of the people watching this have never made $15,000 in a month. So when you don't, I almost don't want to say discredit you. Dude, the fact that you got to $15,000 in such a short space of time, the only thing that's separating me from you is fucking time.
Yeah.
That's it, right? So, and I want to stress that because I don't want to take away, yes, I make a lot of money. Yes, Tom makes a lot of money, all this stuff. But in order to get here, you start at a certain point and you keep going and you keep growing, right? So, guys, look out for Joe on my channel again. Tom and I talked as well. I'm gonna do I'm gonna do a live with him. And I'll host Joe on the channel again. And yeah, guys, subscribe to my channel, subscribe to Joe's channel, like the video, check out Joe's channel description, comment on the video with any follow-up questions for Joe or myself. Go check out Joe's videos, ask him questions over there as well. And have a good one, guys. Today's a holiday in Nicaragua, so that's why I'm at home and I have some time to like think.
Yeah.
All right, so Joe, don't go anywhere. I'm just going to end the broadcast. But guys, thanks a lot for your time. I apologize that we couldn't answer a lot of what you guys have asked. Some of those questions I've answered before on the channel, so feel free to search the channel. And yeah, have a good one, guys.